Dear Brendan, my little Bubba, my little cowboy, you are my pride and joy. We always had so much fun together, just hugging and squeezing and holding hands, and just being together was always enough for me, because I love you like the sky. I love you 2,437. I remember the day you first came home from the hospital. You were so little. You were on television that day, the same day that you were born. You were on television. Channel 4 came to the hospital and put you on the 6 and 10 o'clock news. And you know what you did? You cried for everyone. But you sure were handsome. And your voice was so strong, and your hair was so red. I was so proud of you. I would take you around and show you to everyone. We would go to rodeos and go shopping in Las Cruces, go to the TV station. You liked to push the buttons on the switcher. You were always the center of attention. People still tell me how cute you were in your cowboy boots and cowboy hat and jeans. Do you remember the first restaurant you ever ate in? Well, I do. It was in El Paso, Texas. And just recently I talked to the owner. His name is Mr. Davis. And he said, "How is my youngest customer, Brendan?" I remember our car rides to Walmart to see all of our friends. You knew almost everybody who worked there. You impressed everyone. You could spell about 10 words. Jesus, Mom, Dad, Brendan, Sheridan, Love, El Paso, Texas, stop, go. And you knew about 15 words in Spanish. And you were all of 2.5 or 3 years old. You were sitting in the living room one day. It was one morning we were sitting there, and you took your first step. You just lifted your hands over your head and took 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, bang, you fell down. You looked at me and laughed. I know you knew you did something special. And so did I. I was so proud of you. Not long after you became a walking guy, we went down to Mexico, and you were showing off your new acquired talent down there. Of course, you hit the deck a couple times. See, right here, there you go. You spent a lot of time with me in Topeka. We would play golf, ride horses, ride your Suzuki, ride your bike, and 100 other things. We went to Wichita for a weekend, and we went down to get an award, and we rode in a parade. What a great time we had. You would wave at the people. You'd be sitting in the car waving at people just like a movie star, and they'd be waving back. I remember the time we used to rent rooms. We would rent a room at the Holiday Inn or some other hotel just so we could go swimming in the winter. That was fun. I'll never forget it. It was snowing outside, and we were swimming inside. I'm not the best cook in the world, but you used to tell me I was. I'd be making dinner for you at my place in Topeka. Your favorite food was ravioli and ramen. They were Japanese noodles. And you called them endels. You didn't say noodles. You couldn't say noodles. You just called them endels. Well, to me, they're still endels. I told you before that if I loved you anymore, I'd have to get another heart to hold all the love in, because that's how much I love you. And I always will. When you moved to Louisville, it just about broke my heart. So I followed you there. Remember our place, number 6 at the Hidden Valley? You made friends so quickly there. Remember Patsy, Jennifer, the maid, Peggy, and Bob, the ice guy, the guy that owned the ice rink, and your 2 teachers. Do you remember your 2 ice skating teachers' names? Kevin and Colleen. You were the best skater at the rink, especially for a 3.5-year-old guy. That's how old you were then. I just loved to watch you skate. And I know you could be very, very good if you ever really wanted to be. People used to watch you skate and they'd say, "Who is that little guy out there?" Or, "Look how fast that little guy skates." They didn't know I was your daddy. Just made me prouder. Remember the air show? Remember the air show we went to in Clark Field over there in Indiana? You used to sit in the pilot's seat and pretend you were flying the plane. The pilots would let you up there, and they wouldn't let anybody else up there. Some nights on our way home, we would go to Papa John's and just watch the magic lady throw the pizza around. Remember that lady? She'd throw that pizza around. We didn't know her name, but we used to call her the magic lady. Boy, did she love you. She'd give you a kiss every time you came in and a kiss every time you left. On Sundays, Sunday mornings, we'd go to St. Gabriel's for Mass. Remember Father Bill? Well, after Mass, we'd go ice skating. No, we'd go and get our donuts first, and then we'd go ice skating. Sometimes we'd go to the mall across the river in Indiana. You loved it there because of all the toys and all the rides they had up on the second floor. But sometimes it was a little hard getting you out of there. Chuck E. Cheese was one of your favorite places to go on weekends, and we would usually end up there at night. It's before I took you back to your mom's. Well, December came in Louisville, and so did the snow, and I figured I'd better get back to Los Angeles to make some money. Make some money for you and for me. But, Brendan, not one day goes by that I don't think of you, remembering the fun we had together, holding hands in the car and singing, I should have been a cowboy, or do you love me? Do you need me, my friend? Or Amarillo by Morning, and a whole bunch of others. I'll never forget those times, and every time I think of you, I'll think of them. And every time I think of them, I'll think of you. Remember, I am always your daddy, and I will always, always love you. I know God's going to bring me back to you soon. I love you, my Brendan. Daddy.